screencast, I will show you how to create a CI/CD pipelines that can catch database migration problems before you will actually run this migration in production. And to illustrate the problems that I'm talking about, let's look at the simple app that I prepared to demonstrate it. So we have a simple TypeScript app that uses Prisma and it models basically a blogging platform. Model here is simple. We have a post, we have a user who created a post, and this database, this app stores its data in a Postgres database, and we're using Prisma to talk to the database from JavaScript app or TypeScript in this particular case. This app deployed on a Vercel, quite standard flow, and we have project in a Vercel, and it automatically deploys from a GitHub repository, and we have some draft posts here. On each page request here, Vercel goes to the neon where this database is actually created. So let me go here. So it's called branching demo, and yeah, here is a Postgres connection string, and Vercel is configured to use this Postgres connection string through the environment variable. So here it is. No, not that one. Here it is. Yeah, so let's create a draft post. Create a draft and title will be one more post. Let's say some draft, that's draft.io. That will be a username. Let's better call it user. User. Let's keep a name empty here, and content, let's say some emoji. So that's our that's our blog post. Let's create it. It's a draft. We can publish it. Okay, now we have blog post in our blog. Let's look at the table with posts and post. Yeah, we have some drafts and we have one published post. So that's how our app is working. And let's say now we want to enforce names that I left empty as non-null. So it's quite easy with Prisma. Let's just remove this question mark and leave. Here it is. So now we need to generate a migration. Takes Prisma, it's forbid null names. So I think I'm on a branch main. So let's bit checkout -b not null names 3, and previous branches because I did that already a few times. Yeah, so now we are on branch. Let's generate migration. This will reset for the base. Yes, it's about a local one. Okay, so git status. We have now migration. Let's look at the migration, new one. Under type user set not null. Okay. Git add Prisma status. Yeah, looks good. Git, let's commit it to our branch. Forbid null usernames. and let's push it. Well, let's go to a GitHub and create a pull request. So we've created a pull request, and now we have CI/CD running here. Let's look at our CI/CD setup actually. So what is happening right now in CI/CD is described in this migration, in this test migration.yaml. So here, actually, to check migrations, we go to the Neon API and we create a branch. So it's a post to create a, so it's a post query to create branch of the database at Neon. And branch creation is actually instant, and everything you do in the branch, it will not affect the main database. So basically we created a branch. It returned us with a branch name, and branch name allows you to connect to the database running on top of this branch. With that, we can use this branch URL and assign it to a database URL and run Prisma migrations on top of that branch. So all the data in the branch would be the same as in production at the moment of branch creation. So if we'll have any conflicts with our migration, we will actually catch it. So let's see what's happened here. Okay, apply migration on a branch, and it's failed. Why is it failed? Migration failed. So here it is. So that's the reason. We've created some users without names, and now we cannot enforce this not null constraint. And this may sound as a trivial. We just created a user without a name, and but in a bigger databases and bigger apps, it's sometimes really hard to catch these errors. And the usual approach is to have a separate staging environment where you copy a production database once in a week or so, but it has some gap. And if migration is okay on a staging, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's okay on a production. And here we have really small time window between branch creation and migration check, and there is still some window of opportunity that the data problematic data slips in between these two steps, but it's way lower compared to usual setups where you copy your database periodically from production to staging. Yeah, so that is mostly it. We know that our migration is failed now, and we have a, let's switch it off for 1 hour. We have a way to detect these problems. Let's go to our database and look up our table, and that's posts. Let's user. Okay, we have few users without a name. Let's assign them some name, and that's actually usually what people do in production when they detect such violation. You actually need somehow deal with the data that's violating your desired constraints. Okay, so we filled the null names with some filler. Now we're okay. So let's rerun this migration. Rerun all jobs. Rerun. And look what will happen. Now it should pass. But the thing that I want to stress on is that all this happens on a branch. Now it will be different branch created on a production, but production was always running. It cannot stuck in some intermediate steps where some of the migration scripts are applied, but some are failed, and Again, in easy situation you can have a rollback script for migration, but it's harder when you change the data along the way. So yeah, here it is. We have our migration passing, and everything. All the migration were successful on the branch. This CI script haven't deployed anything to production, and if we will merge this branch to a main, then we will run npx vercel on prod, and this also configured to actually run migration when you deploy to Vercel. It's configured with this package JSON. So yeah, we have special action Vercel build, which will migrate only when you are committing the data to the main branch. But PRs were checked independently on a separate database branches. So that is it. Thank you for your attention.